What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the next episode of Planetbase. My name is Splattercat. Happy to have you here today as we hang out for a while and continue to survive and thrive on this D-class planet where we are hanging out. Our resources are on the rise. Good things are happening. We're getting new colonists. We got another worker, so there's plenty of little guys to carry stuff around and do the busy work. I think that I'm probably going to have to figure out a way. So as it turns out, I think workers... Never mind. Biologists function these down here. And so what I did is when I added this right here, I took a little bit of pressure off of this by turning these into low maintenance rice crops so that now this place is almost entirely producing starches. This down here is producing all food and one medicinal. This over here is producing medicines every now and again whenever a doctor has time to come over here. And these guys are growing chicken meat apparently. And I don't really know what that affects or how that helps me, but we've been doing that anyways. So, you know, I figure we diversify a little bit. I'm getting tired of our vegetarian diet. It's getting a little bit too much for me. Meals are on the rise right now. Well, do you want vitra meat or do you want vegetables? Because I would love to trade with you for things. What are those? A massive storage patent? Man, I wish I had cool stuff. I've got a lot of parts right now, but really, I mean, I have a lot of parts anyways because I'm a human being. And part of being a human being is that you get a lot of parts or whatever. But we'll figure it out. Marcus Meadows. I like your alliterative name. It makes me happy. I was on a baseball team one time when I was a kid. All of the parents' names on our entire parent roster were alliterative. Like it was like Mark and Mary. And it was like Betty and Bill. Like every single married couple on the list had alliterative names. It was the weirdest shit ever. I remember that from when I was a kid, noticing it on the front of the... Noticing it on... Because my mom had the call list so that you could call the other people in the little baseball association meeting or whatever. You could find them all on the list. She had it on the fridge. So anyways, one of my big worries right now is that we just simply aren't fabricating enough plastic. Like, they are really mashing out plastics right now. I disabled this guy because I may actually recycle it because I don't think we need to. And so I may recycle that, and instead what I may put in here is going to be maybe something to produce semiconductors or maybe something to make guns. I mean, guns would be helpful considering they're worth a lot of money. So your average gun in this game I think is worth 80 credits. Even with the fat trade embargo or whatever, the trade duty you have to pay on it, you should be able to use those to farm up money, and it'll allow us to get weapons cabinets in here so that if we get guards, we will be able to do battle just in case. I mean, we haven't been invaded by anybody just yet, but I haven't turned it into a tourist colony yet either. I wanted to make sure that everything in here was a fully functioning, like, very profitable location before I started bringing in, you know, outsiders and non-locals, and you get what I mean. Anyways, everything's looking pretty good up inside of here. Did you see that? He had some kind of machinery on that let him carry that. Did you notice that? He had like a little hydraulic suit on or something that let him carry around the materials that he was bringing over here to synthesize the drugs. That's super crazy. I never noticed that before. I need to keep our medical supplies up because we took a really, really big hit. If you're wondering why I've got somebody working on that, it's because we took a pretty big hit a little while ago when we got hit with a solar flare. We didn't have enough drugs to take care of everybody in the sick bay, so it got a little bit gnarly. I should probably put in some kind of airlock down here, maybe. I mean, I don't like 100% like have to have one right now, but it'd be nice to have in the south quadrant just in case people needed to get around. And the other thing that I was considering is that maybe it might be wise for me to make another dormitory over here, so that we have a sleeping quarters a little bit closer to where people are working. Maybe another storage area right here because this one is definitely starting to look like it's functioning at capacity. So we may need to expand that out a little bit. It's a medium storage facility. So we might want to put another one over here, another dormitory, another eatery, and then we'll have it loop all the way back around. And then from there, we'll start to develop in this direction, I figure. Our little base is coming along. I really figured we would get a lot more done in the first couple episodes, but it's a game where you can either turn it up to max speed and risk missing something, or it's a game. I'm not going to do that trader, by the way. We don't really have anything to trade right now, so I'm not going to concern myself with it. Not going to concern myself with it. He's fabricating a little bit more plastic right there. Good. Yeah, they've got... I saw it. He was carrying some stuff, and he had like a little loader arm thing. I guess the doctors aren't as strong as other people. But he had... Did he finish that? It takes a long time to make drugs. So make sure that you stay on top of that, because if you try to do this after the fact when you don't have any left and you're totally screwed already, you might suffer a tiny bit. I'm going to keep this thing up and still functioning, producing spares, because I think it's a good idea. I've been going through spares at about a rate of... Well, it's about even right now. This produces about as much as I consume, and so... Not a horrible idea. We got construction going right there. That sounds good. We're looping around this way. I may also do another spaceport over here. What I may try to do is I may try to keep the outsiders and the tourists separated and segregated from the rest of our society, so that like the working area where we're like live to work, work to live is like over in this region, and then the area where the tourists hang out would be like down this way or something like that. And then we would actually have concurrent security measures to make sure that if anything happens in the tourist area, it doesn't transfer into our profit base, because that would be catastrophic. And so anyways, I don't really know how cartels can take over your base or whatever, but I've heard that it is a threat, and so I'd like to keep an eye out for it. We may actually run out of power this time around. No, we're draining them batteries pretty quick. We got ourselves another biologist and another engineer right there, so that'll be nice. Oh no, are we on the last hour right now? Oh, it's 4 in the morning. I thought it was like midnight. Oh, we'll be fine. It's probably a smart idea to start working on our power infrastructure, though. Continue keeping that like functioning, since we have a lot of materials now that we can... Well, we're a little bit low on bioplastics, actually. How many guns have you idiots been producing? None? None guns? Let's go ahead and prioritize production over here. I want to make sure that these fabs are going all day long today, because we need more plastic. I need to like get in on this right this second. And then we should be producing starches or something over here. I don't know. It's producing a lot of veggies and not really a whole lot of starch. We got a trade craft over here. And since we might have a couple of things sitting around, he's got a driller bot. He's got a couple of other things. I will probably unload a pretty sizable chunk of my vibro meat or whatever, the vitra meat. There we go. It doesn't vibrate, it vitalizes. And then I'll probably offload that a little bit and maybe just take cash. It's a 65% duty commission, so I don't know how we lower that down. But we're definitely trading at a big-ass loss right now, but it's a surplus. It's something that we have a lot of, so we might as well trade that on in. And then the money, when we trade the money too, it gets a duty surplus, which is a little bit weird as well. So there's a number of things we have to watch out for. Happiness has slowly been increasing over time, except for the people that were like in direct proximity with other people who were dying, so that should be okay. We got food being produced down in here by biologists. I think we picked up another biologist on our last craft as well. Taking a look at our list, yeah, so we've got actually a huge amount of biologists right now. With 8 of them, we should... None of this looks like it actively needs help at the moment, so we should be alright. Did we manufacture any guns at all? Or did they just, like, transfer a whole bunch of our materials into here and then never finished it? Engineers, man, I'll tell you what, engineers. I'm like, oh yeah, I stacked the thing on the thing, man. I stacked the thing on the thing. That's what you wanted me to do? No, I wanted you to operate the cool machine that I don't know how to operate because I have no real training and also no education. Like, oh, well, that'll cost you extra. I mean, when you got the knowledge, I guess. When you got the knowledge, engineers. Always lording it over everybody. Geologists, we work with engineers all the time, and they treat us like we're idiots all the time. Like, so, you're a geologist, huh? So you're kind of like an engineer who doesn't know math? And I'd be like, ugh, I took math classes. I took linear. I took lots of physics. I took just as much math as you did. I also took engineering classes. It's a frustration for me. It is a frustration. Engineers, the hotshots of the construction world. If there were like jet fighters in construction, I'm pretty sure they'd be flown by engineers. Like if they gave out aviators when you got the job, they would go definitely to the engineers, I think, so that they could take them off when they berated you verbally. Just be like, you know what, geologist, go back to your mud hole that you've been digging in. I saw you over there taking soil samples. Why don't you come back over here and do some real fabrication work? I'm like, ugh. Sigh. Although most of the guys that I know that do fabrication on machines and stuff like this aren't engineers. They're just like union workers. Most of the guys that I know that do fabrication, I mean, my dad does fabrication. He's got a whole workshop at his house now. Once his business blew up, he's got an entire workshop in his barn where he's got like all kinds of fabrication machines. Essentially, if you need to build something, you can do it with anything that's in his barn. Like, it doesn't matter what you're trying to build. As long as you're not trying to make semiconductors or like some kind of like PCB board or anything. I would like this to connect. Why is that? I like that. Make that connect. That makes me happy. What's going on with the batteries? Do we not have enough wind? Okay, we don't have enough wind. Let's expand out. I don't think it would be a terrible plan. How much metal do I have right now? 13? I don't think it would be the worst plan ever to make like a big wind turbine out here somewhere. Like, how sick would that be? I mean, I guess we could go with like a medium-sized one. 2 medium-sized ones? Yeah. Well, let's do a medium and a little one. That'll work. And I'm going to space them out a little bit. Although that might eat up my building space. Can I go out further this way? It looks like that's going to be a stop block for us. I don't think I can actually go out that way. It might be time for us to work on our new grid. So I'll put you in right here. We'll connect you. And then we may want to start fiddling with a new grid, maybe over in this direction where this big meteor just hit, because obviously that's not a safety concern. I'd like to get some robots, too, like automate all of our ferrying and, like, all of our coolie duties. Is coolie a bad word? Are you allowed to say that? Like, coolie, I always notice, like, in foreign movies, when somebody gets called a coolie, it's like an insult. But then in other foreign movies, it's just a guy who, like, carries stuff around, like his job is just to, like, carry heavy stuff. So it seems like it's sort of in the intonation, like a guy whose job is just to carry heavy stuff. So anyways, I don't know. Maybe I should hold off on using that word until I find out. I'm not trying to be, like, overly sensitive right now. Like, if you lift stuff for a living, I'm sure you're super muscular. The ladies love it. You'd be sitting out there with, like, abs coming out of your pecs and shit. I don't even know what to talk about here. But the rest of us have to work out, like, every night I go to the gym, and I swear to God, work out an hour a day, and you start to, like, get cut, and you start to, like, notice gains and stuff like that, and you start to realize that you can raise the weight from, like, 80 to 90, from 90 to 100, stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't bulk up. I don't bulk. I just don't. Like, I get more wiry. And, like, I do get stronger, but I don't get mass. It's very, very odd. Like, I get stronger. Like, I get gains. And, like, I've gone up by about 30 pounds since I started working out 2 months ago on a weight bench. 30, 40 pounds. But that's because I'm really aggressive about it, too. I work out 6 days a week. None of that 1 day on, 1 day off bullshit. That's for quitters. And also people who like injuries. I'm sorry, for people who hate being injured. Looks like our food supply is actually sort of... I can't decide if it's going up or down right now. Sometimes I make these broad sweeping changes to the way that I produce materials, and then after the fact I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have done that because I noticed that we don't really have a lot. I mean, part of it's that I just got rid of a whole bunch of shit a minute ago. I got plenty of meals in here, so I think it should be okay. Our production is way down on plastic fabrication, but that's because this guy's working straight ham mode, making parts all day, every day. That's good, though. I'd rather have a stockpile of it than have none. Like, that's the big thing, is that you don't know you need parts until you need them. And then once you actively, like, have to have parts right this second or bad things are going to happen, that's when you find yourself in a world of hurt. You just feel like sitting there and crying. We got one worker out of that colony ship right there. It seems like that'd be overly expensive to fly one guy across the galaxy. Maybe they've gotten transport across the galaxy slimmed down, though. Seems like it'd be exorbitantly expensive to have a guy that just lifts heavy stuff and, like, bangs on stuff with hammers flown out. You'd think you'd want to bring as many as possible, but maybe it's all symbolic or some shit. We are gaining power right now pretty rapidly. The nice thing about our consumption right now, let's take a look at our consumption. So, we got a sandstorm imminent, let's go ahead and slow the game down. We're going to go back in. We got to go to our security. Yellow alert time, so we'll go ahead and let that klaxon ring. I think we've pretty much got everybody inside right now, though. I mean, I don't think we have that many people who are outside the base. Why are you going outside during a yellow alert? Turn right back around and come back inside, robot. You're not allowed to go outside right now. I love you too much. I love you too much, and you're too beautiful. So it's not gaining power at all anymore, but this right here, this wind turbine actually has the capacity of a normal solar panel, so that'll be cool. I see a lot of plastic fabrication happening right now, but I don't see, like, a ton of metal fab going on. I don't know how this pumping piston sexy motion right here that for some reason turns me on produces metal, but all I can tell you is don't let me into your steel factory, because apparently I'd be pitching tents and causing all kinds of problems. I think security's good right here. He's got that covered. We got somebody over here making more drugs, which is absolutely acceptable. So I'd like to use off whatever remainder we have in our extra supplies. Looks like the yellow alert can be called to a close. That should be a hotkey right there. I'd say that if we had a hotkey, maybe something like I, O, and P or something. I, O, and P would be for the different security rankings. Oh no, apparently something was crossed in my recording stop. Sorry about that. I was saying you go like left down and across, you know, left down and right for your different security ratings, so you could just do them real fast without having to slow the game down, and you could just make it kind of a fire and forget type deal. Oh, we used up all of our vegetables. Gnarly. So maybe I cut production a little bit too aggressively. We're still producing meat though. I mean, as long as we got something in the stockpile, I don't really care, but it seems like we're breaking even right now in terms of our production. So it might be a decent idea to make another one over here. Let's go ahead and we'll make ourselves another biodome. And in fact, in this case, it might be a cool idea to make a bigger one off and on this side so that, you know, we know already that we're going to have to expand this right here. And it's an increase of 3, so I would assume anyways. Let me click you off real fast and see what we get on this side. Another biologist, maybe? I don't know what that was. I think he's a worker, actually. Hold on, slow him down. Here's this guy right here. Yeah, it's a worker. KJ Kraus. Okay, that's fine. I'll take workers. I never have a problem with workers. Workers are good with me. Did I turn off the security rating? Yeah, okay, I did. Just wanted to make sure. I had no idea. So we're going to need to expand power out a little bit more. I think we're going to need to create a couple more battery packs. I mean, as long as wind is strong, we do okay throughout the night. I mean, we made it almost the entire night that time without having to do, like, anything. So each of these are producing, I mean, we're at 63 and we're producing 24. It definitely takes the edge off, so I'm going to make a big biodome and just see what happens in here. Like a big biodome right there. We'll link you. And then the next thing I wanted to do is I wanted a secondary storage around here somewhere. And if I could get secondary storage built like on that side, that sounds perfectly acceptable to me as well. Oh, really? That can only go... Why could that only go one way? Can we go from right there? Okay, we'll go from right there then. That's fine, as long as it can connect to two places. Like, I really don't want that to be a long-ass hallway. Meals on the decline. We do have enough stuff to sort of last for a little while. But if we don't start to produce, do we have people sleeping over here? How's that looking? Our dormitory's looking okay. We probably need a second one, though. We're kind of on the... Either that, or we could just stack up beds over here. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. This thing's not really linking anywhere anyways, so... Yeah, just drop in another bed. That's cool. That'll give us a little expansion without me having to build an entire new module. Which does not attract me at the moment. Does not make me feel sexy. You've got spares going. Nobody's been working... I mean, on spares, we're kind of fine, so I'm going to shut that down for right now until it gets a little bit lower. Technically, I could manufacture those and then use the excess to generate a little bit of profit. But why do more things than I have to? I mean, you know. Let me speed this up for just a minute. We got a whole bunch of materials coming out this way. We still have a pretty good surplus running, so... That's nice. I mean, we have enough to get fabrication and things like that done. I'll probably build another eatery over here somewhere. So maybe off on this side so that people... Yeah, maybe like right here. And if I could get a tunnel that runs from there to there, maybe? I don't know, just an extra dining room so that people can get shit done. Right now, I kind of feel like we're functioning at low cap here. I could probably fit in another water fountain in here too, right? Yeah, so let's put another water fountain right there so people can get themselves water, because I noticed people were sitting in a line right there. We're not out of meals. Meals should be on the up and up. I got a ship landing right now, and it looks like it brought another biologist along, which is totally acceptable. Sounds good to me. So with another battery over here, these are sitting at full charge the entire time. It almost seems like a waste to me. It'd be cool if you could sell power in this game too. Like you could use excess power to charge like cells or something like that you could sell. That'd be kind of cool. I mean, I'm not trying to be punny or do wordplay right there. It just sort of happened that way. That's going to be all nice and done in just a moment. How's our oxygen usage looking? How many people do I have in the colony right now? I haven't paid attention in a while. We got 30. Okay. 30 is totally acceptable. Because I think we have enough oxygen to last for 40, maybe. We have an airlock with no oxygen. What airlock has no oxygen? Weird. Why does it have no oxygen? Maybe it was caused by the generator spreading oxygen over to these buildings right here. And so it caused like a sag, essentially. I don't know how to describe it except in electrical terms, but it caused like some kind of sag or something in the amount of oxygen being provided. Looks like it's still increasing. We might need another oxygen generator, though. It might be too far from the center of origin. That's okay. We got the supplies for it, so I got no problem stacking in another one over here. I mean, if it helps... I love that linkage system. That is such a cool idea for a game. Like, I love the way everything just links together and just keeps getting, like, bigger and bigger and bigger and just keeps expanding. It's really, really badass, and I like it. Well, of course there's not going to be O2 in there. We haven't connected it to the O2 line yet. Oh, look at that. It's fallen off right there. Absolutely. So, yeah, we have oxygen issues. So, let's go ahead. It looks like it recovers. It looks like every time I build something new over here, it's causing a sag. We'll fix it in just a second. It's an unforeseen circumstance that I wasn't quite ready for, but it'll work for right now. Still got a little bit of starch right there. Food is still kind of iffy. Wait, I thought I made a big biodome over here. Okay, apparently I made a little biodome. Never mind. Or maybe I made like a medium one or something. Either way, not a big deal. Let's get maybe some... Let's get maybe some medium type foods in here that don't really need like a ton of babysitting, but at the same time, mushrooms. I love mushrooms. Let's grow some mushrooms. That sounds delicious. There we go. We'll make some mushrooms. Sounds awesome. I love mushrooms. I can put mushrooms on anything. You fry them, do whatever you want with them. Doesn't even matter. I love mushrooms. Mushrooms are goddamn delicious. It looks like we just picked up a new colonist. And so while we take a little bit of time, let me see who got added. I think we picked up a couple of workers off that one. It's weird how many biologists we need just to keep things functioning. We need a lot of biologists out here. How's the O2 level? I promise it'll be fixed in just a minute. As soon as my lazy-ass workers stop sleeping and get over here and... Robot, what are you doing right now? Come on, Brobot. I need you to go ahead and take care of this. We need more oxygen on this side of the building, like, really badly. People all lightheaded, staggering all over the place. Lips look kind of blue. They got, like, an avatar thing going on that's just not okay. See, there's construction to be done, but my constructor bot is just, like, sitting here. Well, either way, I'm sure it'll work out all right. I think we have enough water to make this all function. It takes an entire unit of water, which is not so terrible. Our power grid appears to be doing quite well. If we can just keep the wind blowing, we tend to be in really, really good shape the entire time. I'm hoping there's no, like, big meteor strikes or anything that can wipe out multiple bits of your base. That would be the suckage. I think we're still suffering from a lack of biologists right now. So if you went to college for biology, come to Splat's I promise you won't be killed by a solar flare. Well, I don't know if I can promise you won't be killed by a solar flare. You might not be killed by a solar flare. I don't know. And 50-50. I mean, how bad do you want to do biology work? Like, how badly do you want to advance the human race? It's up to you. It's your call. I think we got that in play just in time because I think we're about to have a big... We're about to pump out a whole bunch of extra resources, but I think we're kind of like right on the edge right now. I think what I may consider doing for the moment is actually let's turn off colonists for a little bit until we get stabilized out and we start coming through with a big surplus. I'm going to turn off colonies. Or I'm sorry, I'm going to turn off colonists for a minute. This guy over here, he's like, oh, they turned off my fabricator. He's so upset. All I wanted to do today was fabricate. Now I got to go home. I guess I'll just sleep, be depressed. I don't know. I don't have any pills for that right now, though, because we're all out of... Oh, yeah, we are out of medication right now. They've been giving that shit out willy-nilly. Half the people in my colony just high as a bastard all the time. Just like, woo! Feeling good. So I guess we're making... These are a couple of medium priority, and these are low priority to where these don't really need to be messed with, like, at all. They should just, like, do their thing. Right here, if you click on that, it doesn't take much maintenance, but it also doesn't produce a whole lot. We got tons of ore coming through on that side. I know that our food stocks are low. I am... completely and totally well aware. And that would be why I was actually sort of leaning towards making another diner on the opposite side of the building, too. I think these machines right here are having trouble keeping up. Looks like our vegetables on the up and up, though. So we should be okay. We got a trader over here. What's the trader got for us? I mean, I'll sell you some of these. Normally they're worth quite a bit, but... Got 4 parts right there. I don't know if you got anything that I even care. You're a raw materials trader, huh? Oh, he's only taking 50%. Well, good. Let's trade with this guy then. Let's get some Skrilla, some cash money. I mean, I guess I could take the ore instead. Instead of just the cash. Still, I'd rather not liquidate my spares for right now. Who knows when another solar flare or like some kind of storm's gonna come through and force me to do like really, really rapid repairs on goddamn everything. So for right now, things are looking pretty solid. I don't know why nobody's building this over here. Like, what if I recycle that? Will somebody go out there and fix that then? Yeah, there goes the constructor bot right there. I think it was in the way of his pathing or something. I'm not really sure what happened. Oh. Had to use a part on that. I was going to say, what is that robot carrying around with him? He's carrying around a part. I have the plastics. I have the things that I need. So why is this not going through? Lab is out of water? Oh, really? We stressed out the... Okay, so... Shut you down. Apparently the lab uses up a bunch of water. So let's go ahead and... shut that down real quick. What has happened over here? So our water extractor is straining. Let me slow this down real quick. So it must be the water from all these over here. Eating it up. Okay, so let's go. We got an external. We need another. I thought I had two already, though. Did one get blown up? One may have gotten blown up. I don't know. Let's go ahead and we'll go all in on... Yeah, I do have two. I have one right there. Why is this water extractor not fun? I'm not going to worry about it. Whatever. Give me another water extractor over here. So 5.5. Looks like water production is down for some reason. I don't know if the aquifer is having issues or what has happened here. Yeah, I'm working on it. So that got built. Next in queue is down here. Pretty serious issue if we can't get this up and running. Luckily, the airlock's right there, so the technician should be able to get it routed in pretty quickly. I'm not sure what just happened. Our water production just dropped like hardcore, and I'm not totally sure why. There. Everything reconnected real fast, so everything's looking good again. Get everything back up and running. I don't know. Apparently, your water production can go down. I don't know if we're getting towards the bottom of the aquifer or what happened over here. Whether we drained it dry. It seems like it's a little bit quick to drain an entire aquifer dry, but hell do I know about anything. I'm going to keep the lab on hustle real quick in case somebody gets hurt because we just used a drug right there. Food production should be up in just a minute. So yeah, there it is right there. We seem to have bounced back and recovered. Man, we keep hitting like these catastrophic failure moments where we have maybe like 12 hours to fix something, and then if we don't, we're all going to die. And we keep pulling through. We keep pulling through. Despite my reservations about my own skill level with this game, we appear to keep just mashing it on out. We got supplies. We got things to trade. We got lots and lots of stuff rolling around for right now. I think that maybe perhaps... it might be a cool idea to come up with another starch farm because we're having trouble keeping the fabs all ready to go. But aside from that, my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me. Hit the Nerdcastle for the next episode of Planetbase. I will see you all later. It's a fun game. I enjoy... oh, look there. We got lucky. We got lucky. Unfortunately, well, I can trade some of those in, I guess. And then we'll take like as many of these as we can get out. Even it out with Skrilla. There we go. And so now we got ourselves some husks. We're good to go. So anyways, I will see you on the next episode. Hi-do, everybody.